One of the things I suggest you do is you get yourself a tranquilizer gun. Those are very useful in relationship. When it gets a little too, you just. Tranquilizer guns really work for breaking up a stimulus response chain. How many times would you have used the tranquilizer gun, Johnny? 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day? See, now that's, and you can make up this stuff. Thank you. The cartoon. I don't know how a tranquilizer gun looks different than a real gun, but you have to find some characteristic of a tranquilizer gun that you can tell that it's a tranquilizer one rather than a real one. And this is the cartoon. That's funny.
Or even a stun gun.
Yeah, you hurt me. How many?
Why?
The other question you want to ask, if you're terribly tempted with the "you hurt me" thing, the really, really relevant question here: have my possibilities been limited here? This is the question we almost never ask ourselves. Have my possibilities been limited here? Do I now have less possibilities than I had before? Before whatever the event we're speaking of. You did this, now I have less possibilities. You did that, I did this, now I have less possibilities. How could you?
But that's essentially what we're saying.
When I say you hurt me, I'm essentially saying you've limited my possibilities.
Yes. It's precisely what you're saying. He limited my possibilities. My possibilities are now less than they were.
Usually there's another embedded one of, and you need to promise not to do that again, or, don't, or at least admit you did it.
Are you
Apologize.
Are you clear that you limited my possibilities?
Right. Are you?
Do you get that you limited my possibilities? Because if so, then we can decide on an appropriate punishment for you. If I were to actually hurt you, if such a thing could actually happen, the punishment for me is hurting you. Otherwise, you're trying to be in charge of my own karma. How many of you perceive that your possibilities can be limited? As long as you perceive that your possibilities can be limited, you are keyed in and tied into that stimulus response dance. Wait. I want this to sink in for just a minute. You get it? You're stuck in that dance. But remember, we don't even know what a stimulus is and what a response is because it's all such a jumble of it. How would somebody limit your possibilities? So who can limit your possibilities? Hit yourself on the face. Does that limit your possibilities? How would you limit your own possibilities? Not necessarily.
it seems that by
As a matter of fact, really not necessarily. Live. Not necessarily.
it just seems by definition possibilities are limitless. There's just no way
Yeah,
to
they're
limit
infinite.
them.
But you keep claiming that somebody else limited your possibilities. The IRS limits my possibilities. Who do you think currently limits your possibilities? You got a list. You got a fucking list.
And it's as though every single complaint, every single grouse, every single dissatisfaction is just my possibility.
It's a
of
possibility accounting, and you came up short. Every single one.
Everyone.
Every single one. Every single one. You can boil any of these down to that.
What I'm noticing
Has
with
Kathy ever limited your possibilities? Absolutely. Get it? He knows the answer, but then he searches his files. Remember back our initial drawing, and he goes, yes, your experiences that she has.
I'm declaring she has.
You're asserting that she has. If it was a declaration, it'd be funnier. We covered that. We have a T for that. It's the statement that they've limited your possibilities. How can they limit your possibilities? Nelson Mandela had less possibilities in jail, right? It's the claim that they limited your possibilities. How could they limit your possibilities? How about sales in that, Nance? How about if you don't go up to them? Are your possibilities less? No. How about if you do go up to them? Possibilities left? How about if they say your mama? Possibilities
Got all my
less?
possibilities intact, all infinite number of them. It changes the whole game. It changes the whole life.
Of course. How many different ways do you have of saying that your possibilities could be limited?
An unlimited number.
He hurt me. He limited my possibilities. I made a sale. I increased my possibilities. Ooh. How many of you experience having too many possibilities? And how many of you try and limit your possibilities so you won't have too many? And what's your initial response if anybody else tries to limit your possibilities? How cute is that?